it's only open 10 to 2 or something, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
But again, historically, that's what, and it was funded out of Public Works, but historically, that person didn't do Public Works functions. They were a 100% 40 hours at the community center.
And if he's needed in other places in the city, I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing, Chance never did any Public Works stuff, whether you were short on Public Works, right, or not.
Yeah, correct. In the 6 years I've been here, the funding is always, for that employee, has been there at the community center, in the community center's budget. I do understand what you're saying. It was told to me that prior, that it was Public Works, and it was switched prior to my tenure.
Oh, okay.
I didn't ever went in, but I remember that, that's what I...
One thing I would ask that you consider as the thought process to go on, it's actually, when you look at their budget, there's a two-part scenario we need to look at. One is the building itself and what it takes to keep it up, and two is the programs. The programs would be having, the directors and the events and all that, and both of them together total the amount of their full budget.
Right.
So if because there are other options, if you decide to remove the programs, then you can still rent the building out and things like that. Or you can expand the programs and make them make money.
But it sounds like, listening to Yoli, I'd like to see us rent it, but we may need to sit down and
We do.
revisit,
We do.
have a workshop
There's so many
on
people that would love
it. There may not be
to have
nothing we can fix.
Well, that's something kind of like Betsy said. I mean, that's something I agree, workshop, we need to discuss that more in depth if we need to, but for what we're doing here tonight,
Yeah.
can we at least get a consensus if it takes 3 weeks to take it to EDC, as well as have them come down and explain what he does every day? Can we at least give Marvin a consensus to...
Isn't that really Marvin's job to figure it out, what he does, and bring it to us?
Well, yeah, I mean, so can we at least proceed as the status quo until those two things have happened? They bring us, that they give a more detailed explanation, or they come to the meeting, and then additionally speaking to EDC about covering a portion of it.
I will pull together job descriptions and also the daily work orders that he's presented since October.
Okay.
And we'll have a summary of that.
And can we work orders?
What?
Complete work orders.
At the end of each day, he has to write down exactly what all he did, and then we receive that every week.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's also, I've worked with him a little bit, and I know that it's not a 9-to-5-er either. There's been a number of times he's been there late. I can tell you the parades that EDC helped with the float and all that, I think he was at every one of those, even on the float, helping put the float together, helping all that stuff, so it may not be as black and white as it sometimes is.
Well,
I'm not saying it should be done that way, I'm just letting you know that it's a little different than what we see on.
And you know if the Shirley's see these reports that he does?
And do they sign off on them?
Signatures?
They do not sign off on it, just him.
Yes.
So, I mean, I could see where they would think, oh, that's paperwork, I don't wanna do that. They'll say, just go do this, and he writes it up. So that's another
And the
improvement.
manager's, that's
Right.
part of the manager's job.
I
I think 40, to me, and especially in today's world, 40 hours a week is 40 hours a week. You go from Sunday to Sunday, technically, on a true budgeted week. And so I have no issues if he doesn't come in until 10 on Tuesday because they have a rental at 4 on Tuesday. I absolutely have no issues with that, and I hope they're being creative. Like, I have heard complaints about the Shirleys talking about, well, they've restricted us to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't know when we got into that. I mean, to me, it's when the most volume is going through, but that's the way a manager should be thinking as well, if it's going to be a money maker. So I just want it known, I have no issues about when he puts in the hours.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, all I know, he only works 20, I'm not even questioning that, I'm just saying.
Oh, and let it be known, let it be known right here, we are not questioning this gentleman's integrity or anything like that. We are questioning the need for the job.
Yes,
Isn't limiting the hours at the community center because of the hours that Shirley's were allowed to work? They're supposed to be under the hours.
Yes.
Probably.
So that's probably where that,
They're probably restricted, but...
they're choosing the days.
Exactly, but they don't, that's not how they're wording it to the public. They're saying, oh, they told me that, when they put me on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, well, that's where I don't think our place is.
We're veering again.
Yeah, I know.
Well, so, as far as moving on from tonight, can we at least, does council have an issue continuing the status quo, bringing this back at the next meeting with more description, more specificity, and then
In a broader agenda.
we want a broader agenda item. We don't need a motion to do that.
Do we want to pass this for that?
No, let's just leave it as is. We'll let status quo continue, and then we'll have more discussion.
Except it's running up money.
Well, but, I mean, yeah.
So, but one, just, I like to state the obvious, and Marvin, just, you know, FYI, if a situation like this in the future probably would be better coming to the full council and letting us know that we thought we were gonna be able to do it for 3 days, but we need to do 5, you know, this is FYI for the future. I think that'd be better, so.
Okay, we will mercifully move on. No? What's that, Marvin? We're moving on. You good?
Wonder how Marvin likes our Zoom system.
Wish I could see his face.
Item number 20 was an update on substandard properties. Did anyone have any questions for Gordon on any of the substandard properties?
Cody Court is moving, Steve is working with him on getting electrical transfer, but they are moving. They have a permit, and I discussed that with him today.
Yale. Only one I got.
All right. Item number 20, let's see, 21, instead of making Marvin go on over the phone, which has been sometimes successful and sometimes not, did anyone have any questions regarding what he had in our packet? Okay. Item number 22, we're also going to do that in executive session. Did anyone have any questions about relating to the monthly reports?
Well, yes, back to the city monthly report they turned in. I want to request, it is a budget that shows expenditures and revenues, activities that, like the way it reads, it'll show an activity, but I can't tell if they made $135 or they spent $135 the way it says. And I cannot determine what is concession when they sell those and what money they make. So I would just like them to figure out a spreadsheet, or I can give them one that is a true monthly report. It should be very consistent with every other city report that comes through.
I agree.
Okay.
So that's how we got that in on the right place. Sorry, we spent so much time in the wrong area.
That's okay. All right. Council member questions, comments, and announcements. Dan, we'll start with you. We normally end with you. We'll start with you.
I was at the RCC meeting yesterday, with Dan Kessler said that, I guess they're moving along slowly with meandering. I think ACOM is supposed to be having, some, meetings, I guess, with the city, a town hall type, I guess, on the design in March, is what they're looking, the date that they penciled in. The base commander said the Blue Angels will be coming back to the base next year, April 13th and 14th, and then hope to be on a every other year schedule at that point. I spoke with mine just went blank, the guy from TxDOT that's over all this area out here now. Again, about the blinking yellow lights. I mean, they're tired of hearing about it from me, but he had promised me that he would give me another answer, you know, but that's been going on 6 or 7 years or more, that they promised that they'd get those blinking lights on the boulevard. One thing, the base, and they're probably gonna be getting with you, Chuck, over probably sometime in the next year. With that, air show, he's expecting 150,000 people on the base. That's gonna be quite a, problem for traffic, getting them on and off. Obviously, they don't have, he said, enough room to put everybody on there. they're gonna be looking at using, Bridgemore Mall